Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
That is some unfortunate news. So I've reported earlier that we had 3 deaths so far in Operation Epic Fury. And analysts say that there are likely more already that just maybe not have been reported. Maybe they're waiting to do the opportunity to let families know. I think that there's a high likelihood than 0 that we have higher than 3 right now, but we just don't know about it. But it is a very sad thing to see that we lost those service members, that we had more that were injured. This is the thing. As I said earlier, in war, the enemy gets a vote as well. It seems like the U.S. has already put parameters on how long we think this thing is going to take. I'm going to start off by saying I do believe that 7 days is no more likely. Just listening to what the administration's saying, I'm hoping that it's no more than 6 weeks. But there are a lot of indicators abroad and here at home to say that this could be at the brink of something bigger than we expected. That's not a good thing. I think that the administration really has to give us more on this mission, the imminent threat. What was different in 1995 than it was different in 2025 that brought an imminent threat to where we need to do this right now? Why didn't we do it in December? I wish they would come out and tell us that the talks last week fell apart. We did everything that we could. The Iranians were hell set on making it happen, and they were going to do whatever they had. They were going to do a preemptive strike on us first. Just give us some more meat and potatoes, because I have people that I was in the Marines with who are still in. A lot of them now are mass sergeants, first sergeants, sergeant majors, but they are in command positions where they lead the way. One of my buddies, she's a first sergeant, she's a female, and she's a head of infantry Marines. She's a female. So when they deploy to these areas, she has to be faster, has to be stronger, has to show grit. And it is a lot more, higher likelihood than 0 than her battalion could find themselves on a MEU, on a vessel, or a part of a QRF in a quick reaction force for an embassy or for something similar, as the Middle East continues to be more and more kinetic. I'm worried about the folks that are over there. I'm also worried about soft targets here. If you have someone that is deployed, or you yourself are currently deployed, put battalion down below. You don't have to put anyone's names, dox anyone. But if you put battalion down below, that just lets people know to send a prayer to your loved one or to you if you're over there. President Trump told the Daily Mirror earlier that he expects the war in Iran to continue for the next 4 weeks or less. Putting a timeline on this, hopefully that's the case. I mean, it's always been a 4-week process as the president. We figured it would be 4 weeks or so. It always been about 4 weeks or so. As strong as it is, it's a big country. It'll take 4 weeks or so or less, as the president. President Trump spoke on the 3 service members killing in the fighting. They were great people. And, you know, we expect that, unfortunately, could happen continuous. It could happen again. We've done pretty well, he noted, adding, but they're really great people with outstanding records, outstanding. I look forward to knowing who those service members were. And I hope that, you know, they get the highest honors, unfortunately, having to make the ultimate sacrifice overseas in this fight. We have a lot of evidence that says that this whole 4-week time frame may not be that everything. It may not be it. OK, Clarissa Ward with CNN says, I've been talking to sources throughout the region. They are concerned that this is rapidly getting to a place where it could be difficult to pull back from the brink. And she continues to go on. Basically, there's a lot of analysts where it's not just what we want to do. The enemy gets a vote as well. If they feel like their back's against the wall, they don't want to give up power. they could do this for a very long time. Estimates say that the reason that this was so pressing for Israel is that Iran had a mission to manufacture at least 8,000 ballistic missiles by 2027. In their stockpile before this fight began, it was estimated they had about 2,500 ballistic missiles before anything got started. So over the first 2 days, they have blown their load on approximately 500 ballistic missiles. Now, if we do the math on the low end, that means they've maybe expelled about 15%, on the high end, maybe 25% of their arsenal so far. You know, how many interceptors do we have? Does the United States have in the region? How much can the Iron Dome handle? We've seen plenty of evidence in the region so far, from Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, that ballistic missiles are getting through. These drones are getting through, and those things are manufactured faster than the ballistic missiles. Now, they don't move as fast as those missiles. They're easier, quote unquote, to intercept, but they're still getting through. So far, as it stands right now, in the past 24 hours, Iran has attacked directly or indirectly 15 different countries or their military. Now, to put the word their countries, their militaries, it really just depends. But just look at this list: Israel, the United States. Now, when they say the United States, it says their countries or their military. We do know that Iran launched 4 ballistic missiles to the USS Abraham Lincoln. Reports from CENTCOM saying that they were nowhere, they missed. However, there are reports that says it pushed the Abraham Lincoln further into the Indian Ocean. How true is that? I don't know. I know that the Abraham Lincoln's in River City right now, and their transponders are not necessarily allowing them for the easiest tracking right now. They are constantly launching birds from the deck of that aircraft and putting them into theater. And right now, we have a lot of standoff munitions being used, whether they're coming from planes or they're coming from ships. But I think that as we believe, I don't know if we have 100% air superiority or air dominance, but we do have a lot of free reign over the skies of Iran. We're going to see more bombers being put into place, where standoff munitions may still be used, but bombers usually need to be flown over the country for a bomb to be dropped. We saw that where there's reports that a few B-2 bombers, at least 4, took off from the United States, flew their entire mission to Iran. They have heads on there. They get refueled in the air, all that stuff, dropped their munitions and came back home. We may start seeing more of that if we feel like we have more dominance of the skies. We have Israel, United States, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Jordan, Iraq, Bahrain, Oman, Syria, Cyprus, France, Italy, and NATO, in the United Kingdom. And I think this is a redundancy because they said Cyprus and they said the United Kingdom. The attack allegedly there was onto the military base that UK has on Cyprus. So this list may be a little bit off, but I know it is at least 13. Iran says that they're only doing attacks where American assets lie. They believe that if you're a country and you let Americans base there, that's American soil and that they can attack. But the thing is that these drones and their missiles are either being downed or aren't making it to the bases, and they're hitting civilians, they're hitting civilian targets. We can't really believe anything Iran says. Are they just attacking that? I highly doubt it. We're going to talk about the soft target that we got here recently, but I think that there's an increase for stuff happening here in America, not that greatly. I don't want to sound like a freaking barn burner conspiracy theorist. We have evidence that we should be concerned what's happening here in the States as well. Clear footage shows ammunition cooking at the U.S. Air Base inside of the Erbil International Airport in northern Iraq. This attack came as some actual missiles hit that munitions warehouse. We can see secondary explosions coming from that place, and it's on fire. This is, we know for one that it was hit by a ballistic missile. We don't know if anyone was hurt there. We don't know if anybody was on fire watch or on duty for a munitions warehouse. I just believe that there's a lower likelihood than zero that an entire munitions warehouse was just no one was on fire watch. No one was watching after it. So I think that when analysts say that the count could be higher than the 3 that were lost and the 5 that were injured, I think that that could be true. And that's something that I hope is not true. But we're seeing a lot of evidence where stuff is getting through. We're even seeing where this is footage captured by U.S. service members that shows that it seems to be some drones from Iran that were actually hit bases in Kuwait. And this one specifically is concerning because we're seeing that they're hitting in all sorts of areas. So they are hitting the air bases that we have in Kuwait. They seem to be hitting civilian places as well. And the president is 100% hoping that is all that we have. And I'm hoping the same thing as well. And the thing is not just the ballistic missiles and the drones that are being dropped or being shot by Iran. We also have concerns of protest and of different groups that seem to have either been activated themselves, disgusted by the killing of the supreme leader, or have been activated by Iran. We see heavy clashes here by pro-Iran crowds and security forces at the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. They are trying to get into the green zone. The green zone is our embassy. Huge crowds out there. The Marine Security Guard is activated. And here in Iraq and also in Pakistan, we're having to open fire in defense of our embassies and our consulates. And that's something that we're starting to see more and more of as well. It's not just that, though. People are trying to get out of these countries where there is a lot of kinetic activity going on. Look at the Dubai airport right now. We've already seen I think the only 7-star hotel in the world hit by a munition, whether it was a drone or a ballistic missile. And we're also seeing in the UAE, a French naval base that was hit as well. All these people trying to get out. This is serious business. I hope they're able to get out. But even just showing this shows a ripe target for Iran. And that is a concerning thing as well. Bringing it home, we have to think about what's going on here in the United States. And the thing is if Iran can't touch mainland U.S., the lower 48, there are people who are sympathetic to them that will try it, but they also have assets in the country that could attack us as well. The cybersecurity threat is real. And that brings us to today's video sponsor, which is Aura. And I use them to let me know if I'm having any issues with my information making it to the dark web, to protect this house from DDoS attack, as well as let me know if any of my passwords are jeopardized. I've said this before, I'll say it again. 2014, I was one of a million Americans whose birthdays, social security information, and crucial data was stolen by the Chinese. For over a decade, I've been protecting myself. For the last 3 years, I've been using Aura to protect my digital footprint, regardless of the data brokers. I hate them too. Okay, I don't like data brokers selling my information. Aura helps out with that. But what I'm really concerned with is myself, Mrs. X, or any of our 5 kids' information making it to the dark web, making it so that it can be used, stuff hitting our credit report, or just simply making our lives that much harder. Ransomware attacks where you can't get access to your own banking information. If you own a company, making it so that you have to pay them money because, right, you got to remember, Iran was bankrolling their oil to fund their entire operations, and the Strait of Hormuz is shut down right now, so their increased assets are going down. Cyber security, cyber attacks is something I concern myself with. Click the link down below. Start yourself a 14-day free trial. You should be looking to protect your online footprint because that is an online soft target that is ripe for the getting. Speaking of soft targets, here in the United States, here in Texas where I am, there are videos. There was an attack in Austin, Texas at a bar early Sunday morning, killing at least 2 people. I'm seeing some reports where 3 people were killed and injuring 14 others. I guess it would be 3 people because they also neutralized the threat and the target of the shooter. And the thing is that these are soft targets, people that are sympathized, not necessarily activated by Iran. Like, I don't think this dirtbag who was born in Senegal, he's a U.S. born citizen. Excuse me. He's a U.S. citizen born in Senegal, but he was wearing a hoodie that said property of Allah. And allegedly he had an undershirt that referenced Iran, which we don't have pictures of yet. How many people are out there like this? I highly doubt he got a message from Iran that says time to activate, time to get after it. But how many folks that are sympathizing in Iraq, sympathizing in Iran, sympathizing in other countries, are also sympathetic here in the United States. I took my kiddos to Costco and to the park earlier. Of course, I had a weapon at the 4 o'clock just thinking about that type of stuff. I'm starting to now think about, do I need to start carrying my 300 blackout in a backpack with me more often? How often am I be going out and kicking it and drinking, and to the point where I'm not able to pay attention to my surroundings? It likelihood is decreasing, at least for the next few weeks. This is where I say, I don't want to be the type of person who 100% is stoking fears. I do want to let you know that soft targets right now are a thing I'm concerned with. And in my opinion, for the next few weeks, you should be more vigilant. If it's not a place you need to go, maybe not go there. Oil prices have spiked. If you're not already filled up your gas tanks, gas is going to be a little bit more expensive for a while. I do believe that those prices will come down and they will ease. Other materials may be harder to get right now as the defense industrial complex goes up. All those materials that the places like Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and General Atomics and Sigma Tech, they use commercial items as well to make more munitions, more stuff for our military. So anything that you would need normally may be getting prioritized for the military over the next couple of weeks, because we have to rebuild the munitions and the assets that we're using. But I think that stuff is going to stabilize. But I want to keep you guys up to date, because your prep, don't panic buy, don't buy high if you can avoid it. But I would say stay vigilant and just stay looking at deciding if it's somewhere you need to go or if you don't need to go. These are the type of things I'm doing right now. I'm still going to continue to live life, but you should still be paying attention to that type of stuff. And Iran likes to do a lot of their attacks at night. And in the next few hours, we expect for them to get going again. I'm recording this now. It's about 1600 on March 1st here in my man cave. And I expect that tomorrow there's going to be a whole onslaught of news, and I'm not looking forward to having to report it. I'm looking forward right now to sitting down and watching me some Ross Chastain, watching some NASCAR, and just kind of hanging out. But I also don't want to be complacent. So take that with as you see fit. Take what I say with a grain of salt, because I'm from the outside looking in. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.